So VHS 99 first one isn't really good. It's found footage, so everybody has to die even though it makes no sense that one of the character dies. Um we have these homophobic, racist, um dipshit teenagers that also, you know, make fun of dead people and make jokes about like how many people does it take to crush a dead bitch or something like that. It's just really really awful people. One of their friends ends up, he has a certain religion. It's never really stated what, but he believes that, disrespecting spirits can cause, really bad things to happen. So he ends up dipping after one too many pranks. One was too many in the first place, but they do like three pranks on the poor kid, and he decides to take off. He leaves, but not too long later, he's suddenly being killed in a different room. So I guess he didn't get that far. Maybe he just decided to sit down and take a smoke break before he left. I don't get it. Why is he still here? Then, all his dipshit friends get killed. There's a pretty funny gag where the skeleton people decide to rebuild their bodies and put them on stage. Um, the the people that died are actually, way better than the actual people in the segment. Um, they were pretty entertaining. Um, the segment was fine. I didn't really care for it. The second segment, ironically enough, I don't know if they did it on purpose, was a lot like the second segment of the previous movie, VHS 95. Um, because in the second one, in the first movie, it's about a girl staying at a funeral home and a person in the casket ends up like still being alive, stuff like that. Well, in this one, it has to do with a casket again and people being buried alive. I honestly didn't care for it. They said they're just gonna hide until the cop leaves, but apparently they fucking take off till 6 in the morning, even though it was like only almost like 10 o'clock at night when they decided to hide. Felt very forced to get her killed, but she ends up like making a deal with the fucking creature or whatever. So now all of them get killed besides the camera person in the skit. I didn't even notice that until James pointed out when I watched it on YouTube. I usually notice stuff like that, but he actually pointed that out for me, so that was pretty cool. We get some wraparound segments through this that are just army men being killed. I like that they didn't focus too much on the wraparound this time. We have a segment called The Gawkers, which fucking was the most unoriginal thing ever. I personally did not like it. It's some pervy kids, and then they get killed by Medusa. Like they just do Medusa. If it was more interesting, maybe I would have liked it. Like it's not like they haven't done mythological characters before, but I just did not care for it. It felt lazy to me. Ozzy's Dungeon was amazing. It had Stephen Ogg, which I think this is the first thing I've seen him in. He's in GTA 5, The Walking Dead. I think he's in Better Call Saul. He's in a lot of famous stuff. Most people know him as Trevor from GTA. Personally, I've played GTA once at a friend's house, and I played it with my dad who owned it, but I've never like fully played the story or anything like that. I don't own it. I do own GTA 4, but I can't say what his performance was in that game. I've seen clips and stuff, obviously, it's a famous thing. But I thought he was decent in this. Originally, I thought I wasn't going to like this segment. It felt really generic, like a found footage thing of a game show. How lazy is that? But it turned out to be really good because, like, I guess some stuff can get lost with a game show, but it's like recorded TV. How are you going to make found footage of that? Um, So this girl ends up getting seriously hurt. We see other people get hurt, but they do not get as hurt as bad as her. She gets her leg destroyed, and since they're doing this show to get a wish granted anyway, they probably don't have that much money, so her leg ends up getting, really, really bad, kind of cartoonishly bad, because, the VHS movies are kind of dark, so I guess they had to do it like that, even if it didn't make the most sense. But yeah, I bet she didn't, have really good health insurance, so it makes sense that her leg got messed up. Just it's a little silly how messed up. So she decides to recreate the course, specifically of the one that her daughter lost on, because she thought it was unfair. She thought the show was rigged. Personally, I just think it's kind of the asshole kid's fault. Like, yeah, he's just a kid, but he should not have been yanking on her leg when they're climbing up something. Um, I don't think he should have been killed though, so I'm glad he didn't. I'm glad they didn't go that route. He is about to get tortured with acid, but he talks his way out of it, saying, "Hey, I can get Ozzy to grant your wish." So they take the daughter there, but she ends up making a wish, unbeknownst to them, to have all of them killed, and it ends with her smiling creepily. I think it's a fucking awesome segment. I thought the starting was weak because a found footage thing of a game show just feels silly to me. That's my personal opinion. Um, so, pretty good segment. The last one, I loved it too. I do think the fact that most VHS segments, they kind of tell you what's happening. They don't like shove it in your face, but they do try and explain stuff to you. Well, in this one, um, they don't explain it enough, in my opinion. Like, it might be hell, it might just be some crazy world, but if it is hell, it is slightly underwhelming. What they go with, still a really fun segment, but if it was hell, they they definitely escaped a little too easily. Um, so we have these two people that are um, with some other people that are doing like, some kind of cult thing. I don't think they really believe in it, but of course it actually is a cult thing. So they get dragged to the underworld unbeknownst to them. That was all a part of the plan. They thought they were just there to like record it or something. Don't know why they believed that, but they did. Um, so they get with this girl Mabel the Skull Biter, and her performance was amazing. Her makeup was amazing. Her character was amazing. I just really liked Mabel. Unfortunately, she does not make it. Originally, she just has, one request like, hey, tell the world about me. Have people write my name in the book. I want to be worshipped. And they agreed to do it. I thought they weren't serious about it, but they were. She unfortunately gets killed. Like, they're like, "Hey, wait, Mabel, come with us." I don't think that's the best idea, guys. You saw her, eating somebody earlier. I don't know how she would adjust to society. But, she gets killed last second, kind of cheap, but it kind of works. They escape, and the cult is just absolutely surprised because they did not expect them to escape, and they killed him. But not before the other one writes Mabel's name in a book with his own blood. Genius ending. Absolutely loved the segment. Two great segments. Didn't really care for the rest. Pretty good movie. Liked it way better than the other one. I will say that, ironically enough, even though this movie, you would think all the segments take place in 99, the very first segment takes place in 98. They say that the band had died in 1995, and it is the 3-year anniversary of them dying. Do the math, 1998. I don't know if they did that by accident, but Come on, man. That's kind of silly to have a 1998 one and a 1999 movie.